Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a fixed blade from Ganzo. In my previous video on their folders, I actually mentioned that they had sent over a fixed blade as well that I wanted to go ahead and showcase for you guys, and this is it right here. This is the Ganzo model G806, this one being in the blue color. It is actually available in a couple different colors. I believe it's also available in green, orange, and black, along with the blue one here. So this is the G806-BL for blue. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with fixed blades, especially from Ganzo. I don't think they make too many. So when they offered to send this one over, I quickly jumped on it just because I really liked the way that it looked and some of the features that it was offering. Let's get things out of the way. First things foremost, yes, this looks very similar to a Moore knife, but I think it has enough different features on it that it would definitely make it on its own. Meaning you would have to have an option, either choose that one or choose this one. And hopefully with this video, we'll be able to make an educated decision. So let's go ahead and open up the packaging here. Again, this is model G806 in the blue color. So we'll set that off to the side and take the knife out, and here it is. So I like the fact that the sheath kind of matches the color scheme of the knife itself, as opposed to them, just being blue on the cap right here, and then they all have black sheath. This one actually has a sheath that matches that color scheme. So speaking of the sheath, let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll take the knife out here and take a look at the sheath. A really nice plastic sheath here. You do have the logo right in the front there. You do have a large drainage hole on the bottom there, so if you're carrying this and you get stuck in the rain or anything like that, the water will drain out. And then in the back right here, you do have your clip with the little section right here, which will clip underneath your belt, and that will allow for the knife not to, or the sheath not to come out when you pull on the knife itself. Now, I do like the fact that this knife is also designed, or the sheath is designed to accept the knife in either left or right orientation. So me being right-handed, I would put the knife in this way as it's clipped onto my belt. But if I wanted to, if I was left-handed, I could just flip the blade around and it clips right into the sheath as well. So I think that is really awesome, because obviously then it makes it fully ambidextrous, so anybody can go ahead and use it. So taking a look at the knife itself here, a couple of specs to get it out of the way. First things first, the total length of the knife is just over 8.5 inches. So again, it's a nice sized knife. This is a great camping knife, a great companion knife to something like a larger machete or a hatchet or something like that. You can easily use this to do some food prep, maybe do some, some tasks that are closer up, so like maybe feather sticking or whittling or anything like that. I think this knife would definitely excel at those tasks. As far as the weight goes, it is a tad over 3 ounces. It's actually 3.12 ounces, so very, very light. So it's definitely not going to take up too much room in a pack. It's not going to, give you any, weigh you down if you have it on your belt or anything like that. And then the blade length actually is a little over 3.8 inches, so 3.85 inches as far as the blade overall goes. Now this is a spear point blade, but it is a saber grind on here, so it is very, very sharp. It came extremely sharp right out of the box. As far as the blade goes, the blade material is 8CR14, and then you do have that stamp on the blade right there, along with the model, which is the G806, and then on the other side you do have the Ganzo logo right there. The handle itself is very, very comfortable. It is completely rubberized all the way around, and that's one of the differentiations with a lot of the Moore knives. You'll find that some of them have a rubber insert, but they do have some plastic on the sides, so if your hands are wet, they might slip off. With this one being rubber all the way around, you definitely don't have to worry about that. My hand locks right in there, and there is some texturing on either side of the palm area right here, and then a little bit different texturing on the top right there, which is really nice, especially if you choke up on it or anything like that. If you have to do some push cuts or something like that, then you don't have to worry about your thumb slipping or anything like that. You do have a 90-degree spine on here, so if you do want to use that to light a fire steel or something like that, you can go ahead and do that, because again, I mentioned this is a great kind of camping camping knife, a companion knife to a larger knife or a hatchet or something like that. So I could easily see myself using this in a campsite to kind of do some food prep and stuff like that. I personally don't do a lot of camping, so for me this would be a great knife to have like in the trunk of my car. And then if I need something a little bit more robust that a fixed blade would be able to give me as opposed to a folder, then I would obviously reach for something like this. At the end right here, you do have a nice sizable lanyard hole, which is perfect, especially if you're going to be using this maybe with gloves on, or if your hands are wet or something like that. You can have a wrist lanyard around there to be able to keep that in place. I would definitely throw one on there if that was going to be the case. So I think overall this is a great knife for what it's intended for. But the best thing is it follows that same thought process that Ganzo has with their folders, which is you get a lot of bang for your buck. This knife can be had anywhere from $15 to $18. So for that price point, I think it is a great knife. Definitely worth a pickup so you can test it out for yourself. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link to the Ganzo website down below. And then I'll also leave a link to some of their social media accounts. I always recommend that you follow them, especially, any type of knife or flashlight companies. Definitely follow their social media accounts, because a lot of those companies have gone out to social media to introduce some of their new styles, some of the things, some sales that they do and stuff like that. So it's always good to follow them through there. That way you are first to know. So I think this particular knife, again, the model G806, in whichever color you pick it up, it's definitely going to be a great addition to either a loadout for camping, a bailout bag, a get-home bag, or something like that, because again, it takes up virtually no room. It's nice and thin, very light. You can clip it on the outside of the bag and have it readily accessible, or drop it inside of the bag if you don't want it to be exposed, and then when you need it, you can go ahead and reach for it and pull it out, and then you can use it. You can easily clip it onto your belt. You don't have to take the belt off to be able to do that. So I think it's definitely a worthwhile pickup for pretty much anybody that would have a need for it, or even if you just want to have a fixed blade for other things, maybe around the house or something like that. Maybe you're doing food prep at home. You can also use it for that. Definitely will lend itself well for that. So again, this is the Ganzo model G806-BL, being the blue color here. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.